writings with an additional 20 years of life lessons, wisdom, and frontline ministry experience. He clearly shows what it takes to build and maintain a unified and effective team, explains how and why growth changes everything, exposes the most common roadblocks to unity, and shares the keys to getting everyone on the same page, as well as the tools for keeping them there. I could not recommend this book more enthusiastically, and I pray it leads to healthier ministry teams and healthier churches. Matt Chandler, Lead Pastor, The Village Church. Introduction. Sticky Teams. What makes them different? Sticky teams stick together. That's their defining trait. When faced with the differing agendas and clashing perspectives that every team must work through, sticky teams know how to deal with the issues at hand and still come out united in purpose and vision, with a genuine camaraderie undamaged by strong differences. In other words, sticky teams are not only productive, they're healthy. And that's what this book is all about. Frankly, it's the team-building manual I wished I'd had when I started out. It's filled with the powerful insights and principles I've learned and shared with thousands of pastors and business leaders over the years to help them get and then keep everyone on the same page. The foundation of this book is my earlier work, The Unity Factor, which dealt primarily with developing a healthy board. In Sticky Teams, I've widened the scope to include all three of the critical relationships that a pastor must develop and maintain with the board, the staff, and the congregation. I've also added insights and lessons I've learned from an additional 20 years of frontline ministry. One thing, however, has not changed in the least: my deep conviction that the health and long-term effectiveness of any ministry begins with the health and unity of its primary leadership teams. Genuine unity. One of the great beauties of a truly healthy and unified leadership team is that it experiences unity in the healthiest sense of the word. Sticky teams aren't made up of mindless clones. They're made up of widely divergent personalities and viewpoints. Their team members often disagree, but they know how to fight fair. When the battle of competing ideas is over, they march out and present a united front, setting aside their personal preferences and agendas in light of the greater good and the bigger mission. Sadly, however, this kind of unity is hard to find. It doesn't come naturally, even in churches and organizations dedicated to serving the Prince of Peace. Too many things work against our unity. What's gone wrong? Why is unity so difficult to achieve? To begin with, there's our sin nature. It messes up everything. Add to that our differing backgrounds, biases, blind spots, and passions. We all come to the table with a different set of eyes, which often causes us to see the same things quite differently, making consensus hard to come by. In addition, most leadership teams are saddled with traditions, policies, and organizational structures designed for a day-long past. Yet, as every leader knows, it's not easy to change deeply entrenched patterns and traditions, no matter how stupid they may be. In many cases, it's a rather dangerous endeavor and a foolish career move. The result is a well-known pattern of board conflict, turf battles, staffing silos, and splintered congregations, the stuff of ministry legend and gallows humor. But it doesn't have to be this way. It really is possible to get everyone on the same page and keep them there. A dysfunctional group can become a winning group. I know, I've done it, after getting off to a horrible start. To create sticky teams, we must first deal with the core problem. Frankly, most books on leadership focus on creativity, vision, innovation, clarifying the mission, or aligning programs and processes. This book aims at something different. It aims to shore up the foundation of a healthy team, because even the clearest vision, greatest innovations, and most stellar programs won't make much of an eternal or even short-term difference if our ministry and leadership teams are mired in the deep weeds of disunity and conflicting agendas. I have divided this book into three main sections.